So what I'm getting at with Richard McGilvery making shit up by things from him being abort go missing. He does that. He did it in the art room when I threw my stuff away, and then he told John that I'm repeating because I'm recording it now. That Avesta said I had too many art supplies, and that's not the case. And the fact is, Avesta Associates and this apartment building association probably inherited and benefited from the waxing of the floors. So, because I threw it away. But he told John in the art room that Avesta told me I had too much, and so I had. But that's not the case. They wanted to wax the floors, so theoretically I had to move it. Well, I didn't want to be asked to move my shit again, not with the bunion consideration at the time. And so if I threw it away, then I wouldn't have to tax my bunions and splayed tendons again. So there was that. There was him, and I'm sorry I'm repeating this because I'm recording it now, but I came in swearing because someone with fucking puka shells in their rear view mirror, so I know it's a girl, is parking in my parking spot. And I was swearing over there about the two wed weed Marys give me a fucking twofer, and two fucking girls call me, ring me up from downstairs. I'm sorry, we had an emergency. I'm like, emergency my ass, I got a fucking emergency too. I looked outside, saw available places to park, and I'm just like, fuck you and your emergency and your force-sightedness, -t. Richard informed them, and I already knew he would. I came up here before they ever rang. This is the lay of the land. They're going to have to find me. Who are they going to find me by? By Richard. And how did they know to call me? Well, we've heard. Who did you hear that from? Let me guess. The person that makes shit up by being abort and making them go missing, so we can fill in whatever you want without ever there being present a present prescient client to give an honest retort and a review. R-E-V-I-E-W-E. Right here too. So he does that. He supplied what I already predicted that he would. If I'm blocking the people in that are in my parking spot, because I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. It's either I block you or I put myself out there to go find a place to park. Could I do it? Yes, I could. But my point is, this has happened before. I don't want it happening anymore. And every one of us in there, when we see someone that's not supposed to be in there, we're like, ah, because it displaces. Okay, so my point is shut it down. So you're gonna have to come find me now. You thought in jest as your guest that you would be pass the slack and that would be okay. Yeah, sure, if you want me paying you back the same way. You have to come find me. You found Richard, and he supplied you information for you to cotton to. Okay? And he's doffed. Two by two, bring all you want to. Okay? Because you will always get to. And so he did that. Then he did that in the art room with John, makes hyphenated shit up on me. When I ask him not to talk to me, I mean, it's because it's bad enough, but now he talks about me in the same hyphenated bullshit to trust, -t, to trust top, -t. More malfeasant time that he desires to bring apparently, reap apparently. Look at me, I'm so fucking BS SOB observant. You can't stand doffed yourself. Aren't I standing DOFF? I'm standing doff myself. Even in ear near residence. Fair air. Read from afar if you care. If you want to, if you carry the air, if you see A-I-R-E-Y-E-T-H-E-R-E, D-H-E-I-R, there, the air you would be. Because C-A-N-D-O, a canned zero. I canned an honest zero, innocence in reflection. C-H-E-A-R-O-D-E. The other thing that didn't make the video, I don't think, is in the winter when, maybe it did, when he hit the asphalt in front of me to make that loud noise with that shovel. And he could have been shoveling for that several hour time frame I was away. And there wasn't that much snow in the covered parking area anyway. So he grabbed that tool as an implement to look like he was being purposeful. He went for my car, he slammed it down to force a summary of sound as an attack. And then he told me to move my car back. And I'm like, check your fucking hyphenate, check your fucking H at. Because I see your logistics and I see the order, okay? And it's not okay. You dab and abort to make things go missing so you can fill in the place without any hissing in your histories face when it's really a jacked off face, but you would rather stand as if you stood for grace, but you're not standing for grace, and so I can understand you never stood for it either. You stood doffed to replace. The interesting thing I'm trying to relate is I'm not trying to make shit up, hyphenated shit up. I generally relate as the shit goes down. Preferably, for me, feelings as fresh, because fuck, I'm not really into contrivances. So it's like, oh, relive that. We didn't get a recording. Recording's really not my preference, but it seems to me among the hyphens I need to jack D-O-F-F the artifact as my own B-L-A-C-K-T. Tooth the tact. So what I'm trying to express is you will see this because I see it. I say things off the cuff and they still have a meta. A metal L-eve-ye-inn-d0f-t A-G-O-D-E. Go on D-live-r T-H-E-M-E-A-D. Okay? There's a meta in that, and I think it's because I am my word. I have been my word. I honor my word. I put it out there and on a limb to honestly be the served. And I feel that the meta of being that is you can bend time forward. That's what I think. What I'm saying is, I started seeing this as a young person in my journals. I started to keep a journal definitely by the age of 12. To make it interesting, I would try, first I had the goal to write in my journal. And because I had the goal to write in my journal, then I decided I didn't want to write about, I ate a Twinkie today. And that was my only journal entry. Because I had the goal of the journal, then I'm like, well, shoot, well, let's do something that's worth writing about. Let's have an interesting thought, an observation, an action. And in my journal, then I would start sussing relevance of understanding wants, desires, and what I'm thinking. And what I would see, it didn't happen right away, but after keeping journals for quite a while, I took the time to look back, and what the pattern I saw is 2 weeks ago I was thinking about this, 2 weeks later it's manifesting. A month ago I wanted this, a month later I see that scenario came into my life. So I really started sensing the meta of thought and being the present prescient and pre-client, even if you're not in the money paradigm, of tending to go for reward. And stupid jacked off thieves do not understand honor, and they can't conceive a reward among them. It's not my fault. I work from the inside out as much as the outside in. So I put, I think in between the two videos, I was talking about, I was an athlete and I was popular, and I walked away from that. That's my brush with being a celebrity in the town that I went to college. And liking me for no reason makes me feel ill. It makes me feel like I'm losing my place, and I don't like it. So I walked away from that. Now, the interesting things with the two weed-wed-oft Marys is their present prescient client is hyphenated as they are, so they can get a return there without ever really extending any real effort to care, see the air, and carry the I yet here. They're not concerned with that. They're just concerned with, we're going to slack as much as we want, then we're going to give you a yap-apologied-d0f-t, to stay d0f-t, to tack d0f-t, to return d0f-t, as d0f-t as we are. Okay? d0f-t and dafter, drafter, crafter, rafter, on me arse, to co-arse, course d0f-t. And it puts me in a unique position because they're not thinking of me even. And in their stupidity, it would seem they think I'm trying to get the better of them, and I'm not. Certainly, I'm not. I'm trying to get the better of me, even standing D-0-ff-t. Because I can, apparently. I can D. I canned. C-A-N-D. I canned the date. Put that D in parentheses nap and dap. Apparently, dap, flit things on the line. If you like D-A-B, apparently B-P would be baptized. Well, I'm dabbing with the same shiv, the knife, as the shive, the plug you put on your keg. K-E-G is a barrel that holds nails. That's Richard McGilvery's dog over there. Gracious bee. Bead doff tone on me. What else? Sorry, I got distracted. I can't get enough of Richard McGilvery. The Gilverys, always on the same plane paid. P-lane-d. I'm saying I'm in a unique position because I walked away from being notably someone. To be liked for no reason. That does not appeal to me. And yet, precisely in doing that, it affords me the jacked off test state that desires test state to stay that way and assay to test the metal of by making it doffed, fanny weight, puts me in an interesting position because they don't see me coming and I get what I want. I don't even really have to try, I just have to show up. But we all appreciate theatrics, so I'll do my best at entertaining myself, taught and sought, to zero. I'll bring a zero with me, apparently, if they don't want to be jacked off on their own sweet time. They sought toffed. The value of my dime is toffs, and your jacked off estate has not brought the honest dime for anyone, including yourself. So yeah, no more jacking doffed on authority for your W, your with hyphen H hyphen parentheses E-A hyphen L-L hyphen T-H-D. Wealth, health, healed, the time and the hydrogen to dumbfound ye, all hyphenated. So that's one of the unique things, the position I was talking about, that you don't see me coming. I'm trying to. I'm marking. I am providing. I'm providing market mailers. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to deceive. I do not want a dishonest dime from you. But what's interesting is that we can see that no one apparently can afford an honest dime. And in doing that, you do not desire 2x2 that would be your tin, hin, hind, and tine, thine. Your tin, hin, your hind, your tine, you tined for completion. I'm saying you have nothing to offer, whether it's you have nothing to contribute because you are not the contribution. So as much as the two toe-weed wed married doffs would be thiefenly with ascertaining what my problem is I'm present on your p-even-d. You have no right to p-even. You don't care, actually. You don't have the capacity. You're not rational. Your desire is vain, V-A-I-N. Your spirituality is the same, vain. Your faith is you believe in slacking your way to hyphenated freedom, d0f-t. And you create a scene to maintain a scene. Stealing, S-T-E-A-L-L, stealing everyone and stalking. Tooth the cell that you would tell, all hyphenated. I was trying to get at it's interesting that so for me, the magic is that I'm seeing is the way I tack and building this website and the content I put up. It's like I'm learning more to go with my instinct of copy that, load it up. These are all files now from today that need to go up. Because the tact is the hinge, and the theoretical tin and tine negatively supplied. But we're talking artistically speaking, where the positive content is equal to the negative shape around it. So what else? I'm tacking the hinge and the thing. G-E, hinge, thing, G-E-I-V-E-N-D. Put that N in parentheses too, i.e. gived and given, the venerable date. So it's no different than writing in my journals. I'm tacting for reward. I can see that because I can see the connections. I was here, I read that, I took the picture to upload, and now I see the fuller scope. You know, I was talking about the client, Mary, who related to me a story and said, someone ought to write about this. So I'll talk about it again. Mary related to me that she got a tattoo on her rib at 50 or close to that. And she was expressing that she didn't know why. She wanted to feel something. And this is the way she did it. She did it with mannerisms, with non-verbal gestures. She's like, wanted to feel something. I don't know. I wanted to feel pain. I just wanted, And so she got a tattoo, and she met someone there, the tattoo artist's relative, and I'm not sure how they're related, but she met him there, and 2 months later she quit her 25-year stable job and moved with him to California. And everyone thought she was crazy. And I understand the relationship is good. I think it's been 10 years, I'm not sure, but she wanted to move back because her relatives are here, and the next generation, so her grandkids, and she wanted to move back, and she did not want to have to demand that from him. I think his name's Dan, and he's an oil trucker and truck driver, I believe. I remember hearing oil and drive. So she put it to him that she's sorry, but she has to go back to Maine. She's got to go back to her relatives. And her husband, he sold his job to his partner and then left with her. So it's kind of interesting. She threw in 100% to go one way, and then he threw in 100% to go another way. And she's back here in Standish. And I just thought it was a very interesting meta. From relating that story, which I did on the broadcast, Mary is a grandma, and that made me think of GRAM. And then I think of other ways to provide its meaning in the same B-L-E-N-D. The blend is the bend. And so I thought of G-R-A-M-A, like gamma, rama, and like that made me think of gamma ray. So I looked up gamma ray, and gamma ray is the Greek letter Y, and it's also, well, look it up. It's I've still got to put that content on the website from that, but it aids, if not in itself, it's a natural killer cell. It's used in medicine for cancer. So anyway, I thought that was interesting because I identify X as the Roman numeral 10, 1 and 0 is the content to be one-on-one, even-vend. So 10 is even, nod, odd. And node would be the branch of that you brought to bow height, that you took and hook, a K-N-O-T. Wood has knots in it. K-N is a knot, O-T, 0, overtime. Knowing the difference between the time for a competition and the time for completion. You know, the jacked off estate thing is the jacked off Marys of late, of pate, prate, and late, is that they make me squire to their estate. Do I not look stupid relating to them? I mean, they keep expanding snit and knit with no boundaries because their present prescient client thinks it can get away with it. W-E-inn-d, put your parentheses wherever you like, -t. So, this is where I get to regale. And you can see it's necessary to have my back so I can have my prow, P-R-O-W-E-T. Pro-wait, that's wet, and prow is the front of your ship. Even if you're not in an obvious relationship, by thinking of someone, you would accord yourself to represent it and to tie it. So I'm not here to debate that I'm as stupid as Jack Doff says. When Jack Doff does not get on the line to provide an honest dime, Jack Doff is ever shiv-shived. So these are extra flowers today. And it was very funny. I was talking to one of the people that worked there, and I'm like, yeah, I grabbed these. I'm sorry, they were on the floor. She's like, well, she asked, she goes, well, we can throw those in the garbage. I was like, no, 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 I like them. I like them. I, I, I think they're perfectly good. They're still lovely, and I could see that they're going to be thrown away, but I'd like to take them with me. And she said I could. And I don't know, we talked about inner child or something, like the kids do that. And I said, yeah, sometimes my inner child is turned inside out. And she said she's the same way with horses. I'm like, I know, I'm that way with animals too. So, anyway. Jack-Doft, in all decency, should not be in my presence. I've got too many thoughts and ideas that would provide an honest bridge and ridge. I don't need it. M-I-D-G-E. The midge. And the M-E-ye-ven-d, the might, M-I-T-E. Don't need it. Don't need it all my time. I've got enough to work to be prime all the time. You just need to get in line. Well, you need to get in line in an honest time, but being stupid and desiring to be stupid really doesn't give anyone honest the ability to be conceived among you. Okay. So, but I'm just saying that you don't have the right to hie-ven because you're not doing honest work. You're just jacking doft. The meta I was trying to advance, Jack-Doft thinks he can read me because he passed the hat, and that's not the case at all. And C as ever yet thing, C as sever, ever, Eve, R, E-ye-e, yet. T-H-I-N-N-G-E. T-H-A-T. B. L-A-C-K-T. What else? I don't like being riled up. It puts me in the wrong frame, obviously. The two thieves, the married doff to keep the testate doff by personally staying in place, doffed, to relate, doffed, to get doffed, to return doffed, to ref face doffed, and not consider your effacing D-O-F-F. Can't lend honest weight. Whether that's waiting in time or for me, the interesting thing is I can see I am my word, and I can see my word happening because I say it. Okay, so I think it's an interesting dynamic, and that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not trying to be coy in delivering it, yet I'm not trying to be coy in That sounds like you're God. I'm simply trying to observe what's happening, okay? And that it does happen, and it can happen, and it has happened, okay? So, it's interesting. And I see that tacking here silently. Moving on to the gamma ray. The gamma ray, and understanding that's the Y. Y is the male chromosome. For me, being in the competitive marketplace, the X, the women's chromosome, is always in question. Well, I think I've answered that H-at very clearly, that women are, if you consider me as one, it is no longer the question why the men is hyphenated. That, to me, is always in question now. Given my own time and my own framework, I question every man, -d. Oh, why? Because I can't help myself. Tap apparently. Among ye. So, I mean, that's what I wanted. One of the things I wanted to get at. The hyphens deliver their word too, but they do it by citing 2 by 2. Okay, so that's what's interesting. I'm not citing. I'm citing from the inside. I'm doing within. D-E-W-E-I-N-N-G. Thank you. Because you know what it means. Well, I understand the positioning. I understand the positioning that no one can bring. No one can bring. Can't bring, sorry. And that's what my parallax is illustrating. So I have been putting some stinky things up about Kylie Jenner, and why? You know why? Because in that plastic -t race, I see the two sporting and retorting Mary Weed. I see that. These two jacked off people here, Kylie Jenner, would buy your lipstick. -t. Okay? Got it? They would buy it if they're not already wearing it. Your Kylie Jenner doft. And I get it. I'm going to keep shitting on you until we get enough witness. t-0ff-t. Well, maybe I won't, because, you know, I'm putting it out there and I need to change some things. But in that I know that I need to change some things, I can see I'm still doing the same thing. So I'm trying to get off that. But since I was still here and I had the fucking notes, I thought I would do it. So anyway, ideally, if you can get on the right frame and you know what being the right frame, what it means as desire, reason in life, even, it means you understand what's necessary and what's not. And you fact your H as your fate and your faith to be brought. And your spirituality, well, that's your own creation. To be cell, the L, F by F, framework and fretwork, T, S, A-u-g-h-t. Ought is 0, self-sought and taught. So then what the liberated beauty of being is just being yourself, okay? But you need to understand, dowing with war-t is not going to score you a real value. You know? Selling dipshits presently, lipstick-t, you're putting the scourge on me because they're like, we earned our money to spend it to be seen representationally. So what's your fucking problem? I'm real, not rel-d-o-f-t. And yet they blabber on me because you can't see. You speak rue-inn-d-be tone, 2 by 2. To get rue-inn-d-be tone, 2 by 2. Openly, yeah, top openly, stop, top, op, pen, pent the time, and pent the tail and the tally, okay? That's why these jacked off fucking whatever fucking ugly sisters they are can keep reeling doffed on me and not even hear me when I say one thing. I don't want your apology. Well, you just apologized. I'm like, what are you fucking... Oh my God. I have to spin my tail into a loop and prove it. Time over time. You're not aware of prime. And just because you got spayed, hyphenated, doesn't mean you are the time, and it obviously means you can't give the time. So, no more false present, prescient, client taking the time from my tin, tine, and hind that's as your thine. No, I was not thinking of you. Okay. I was thinking of 2 by 2. Process and product even through, not thief-fen through.